Hogan and de Lange put Glamorgan on top on day one. Leicestershire suffered a tough defeat to Durham in their last game. Their opponents Glamorgan also lost in their last match and were eager for a good start at Grace Road. Leicestershire got the early advantage, winning the toss and electing to bat. Horton showed good intent early on, but was then trapped in front by Van der Gutten in the 7th over of the morning, out for 7. With the very next ball, Van der Gutten had his second wicket. Ackerman caught by Hogan for a golden duck. The following over, Carberry was sent on his way by Hogan, and Leicestershire were in real trouble. New batsmen Cosgrove and Javid looked to steady the ship, but the Glamorgan attack had their tails up and it wasn't long before the visitors had their 4th wicket. Cosgrove trapped in front by de Lange for 14. That brought Dexter to the crease, and he played sensibly in an attempt to rebuild things for the hosts, but his partner Javid soon fell victim to Lloyd, caught behind for 13. A tough morning for the hosts, and things didn't get much better for them as the afternoon session got underway. Rain was bowled by Hogan for 2. It looked as though it was going to be another difficult session for Leicestershire, but new batsman Parkinson batted well alongside Dexter, and the pair protected their wickets and took the score past 100. Parkinson was growing in confidence. He reached 30 before Hogan eventually got the breakthrough, Selman with the catch. In came Hill, and he batted well as Dexter pushed on. The partnership lasting till tea, the score 174 for 7 at the break. A good session for the hosts after being 62 for 5 at lunch. With Dexter well set on 76 not out, Glamorgan came out for the evening session eager for the remaining wickets, and it didn't take long. First, de Lange removing Hill for 13. New batsman Aaron failed to score before becoming de Lange's 3rd victim, and Dexter was running out of partners. The following over, Salter brought the innings to an end. Dexter caught by Murphy for 87, Leicestershire all out for 191. A good performance by Glamorgan, Hogan and de Lange the standout bowlers finishing with 3 wickets apiece. And after a quick change of innings, Selman and Murphy got Glamorgan's reply underway. The pair played well as they formed a solid foundation. Leicestershire's bowling was tight, but the Glamorgan pair batted sensibly as they gradually took the opening stand past 50. They saw play through to stumps, 82 without loss the score at the close. Selman 39 not out, Murphy unbeaten on 32. Glamorgan will resume on day 2, trailing by 109 with all their first innings wickets intact. Leicestershire tear through Glamorgan before building on first innings lead. Glamorgan came out on top on day 1 at Leicester, bowling out the hosts for 191. Selman and Murphy then put on an unbeaten opening stand of 82 before stumps. The Glamorgan pair returned to the middle on day 2 with their side trailing by 109 runs. In the first over of the day though, Murphy was sent packing by rain without adding to his overnight score of 32, Horton taking the catch. That brought Australian international Shaun Marsh to the crease, but he only managed 7 runs before he was caught behind off Aaron. A big wicket for Leicestershire, and 2 overs later Aaron had his second, Selman removed for 40. With 2 new batsmen at the crease, Glamorgan had to rebuild, and Carlson and Donald took a positive approach. The Leicestershire attack had their tails up though, and it wasn't long before Griffiths had his first wicket, Donald gone for 14. In came Cook, but the wickets kept tumbling. Carlson caught by Cosgrove off Dexter for 14. Leicestershire were on fire, and Cook only managed 6 runs before he became Griffiths' second victim. Glamorgan were in turmoil and needed a partnership. Lloyd attempted to push the score along, but Leicestershire were relentless, and Lloyd was soon caught by rain off Dexter for 15. Lunch couldn't come soon enough for the visitors, and Salter and de Lange managed to survive the remaining overs, the score 148 for 7 at the break. A disastrous morning for Glamorgan, losing 7 wickets for 66 runs. Credit though to the entire Leicestershire attack, who came out firing after a disappointing performance with the ball on day 1. As Salter and de Lange returned to the middle for the afternoon session, Glamorgan trailed by 43, and they failed to reduce that margin before de Lange was sent back to the pavilion clean bowled by Aaron for 1. 2 overs later, Aaron had his 4th. Salter trapped in front for 9, and the end was nigh for Glamorgan. With only one wicket left, Van der Gutten played aggressively in an attempt to give his side a first innings lead, but his partner Hogan was eventually caught by Carberry off Rain for 4, Glamorgan all out for 178. A terrible collapse for the visitors, who came into the day in such a positive position. A fantastic bowling display by the hosts, Aaron the standout performer finishing with figures of 4 for 65, helping his side earn a small first innings lead of 13. Carberry and Horton returned to the middle to get their second innings underway, and they looked to maintain their side's momentum. The Leicestershire pair formed a good foundation, gradually taking their opening stand past 50, but it was de Lange who eventually got the breakthrough. Carberry caught behind for 20. Horton continued and soon brought up his half-century. However, 2 balls later, he was trapped in front by Lloyd, out for 50. With 2 new batsmen at the crease, Leicestershire had to rebuild, and Cosgrove and Ackerman consolidated well, batting through to tea, the score 109 for 2 at the break. A solid start to Leicestershire's second innings, and the hosts led by 122 runs as the evening session got underway. Cosgrove picked up some boundaries, but only 7 overs were bowled before Rain forced the players off the field, the score 119 for 2. Conditions didn't improve, and play was eventually abandoned for the day. Frustration for Leicestershire, who were making good progress. Still, a wonderful day for the hosts. They looked as though they were going to concede a first innings lead when Glamorgan started the day on 82 without loss. The visitors, though, were dismantled by a great bowling display from the Leicestershire attack. Cosgrove and Ackerman will return to the middle on day 3, with their side on top, leading by 132. Leicestershire beat Glamorgan in an extraordinary day 3 finish at Grace Road. Aaron took 4 for 65 to restrict Glamorgan to 178 on day 2 at Leicester, giving the hosts a slender first innings lead of 13. Carberry and Horton then made a good start to Leicestershire's second innings before both lost their wickets, Cosgrove and Ackerman taking the score to 119 for 2 at stumps. The hosts led by 132 as day 3 got underway, and Hogan provided Glamorgan with the early wickets they needed. Ackerman caught by Lloyd for 22, before Cosgrove was caught behind for 33. The Leicestershire batsmen continued to struggle against Hogan, who proceeded to take 2 more, trapping Javid in front for 1, before seeing Dexter nick off for 4. A terrible start to the day for Leicestershire. The new batsman Rain attempted to push the score along, his partner Hill, though, only managing 8 before he was beaten by Van der Gutten. The hosts needed a partnership. New batsman Parkinson managed to protect his wicket with Rain as they pushed the score to lunch, 191 for 7 the score at the interval. A poor session for the hosts, losing 5 wickets for 72. A brilliant morning bowling performance by Hogan, and the visitors eager for the remaining 3 wickets to be taken as the afternoon session got underway. It was de Lange who struck first, Parkinson caught behind for 9, and 3 overs later Hogan had his 5-fer. Griffiths also caught behind, this time for 4. With just 1 wicket left, Rain played more aggressively, bringing up his 50, and he continued to pick up boundaries to take his score to 65 before he was eventually caught by Donald off de Lange, Leicestershire all out for 237. A great effort from the Glamorgan attack, Hogan finishing with figures of 5 for 61, giving his side a real chance of victory. Credit to Rain, though, who batted defiantly to help set Glamorgan 251 runs to win. Selman and Murphy took to the crease to begin Glamorgan's second innings, but it wasn't the start the visitors were looking for, adding just 6 before Rain found the first wicket of Selman, the ball edged and caught behind by the keeper. Murphy, however, continued to push on and added a few important boundaries to the total, but his new partner Marsh didn't manage to get off the mark, removed by Griffiths, clean bowled for an 11-ball duck. New batsman Carlson survived through until tea with Murphy, the score 35 for 2 at the break. Not the ideal start to Glamorgan's run chase, and they needed a big partnership as the evening session got underway, the visitors still requiring 216 runs to win. It took just 4 overs for Leicestershire to take the next wicket. Carlson sent packing for just 1, Griffiths again claiming the wicket, Hill this time with the catch. 13 runs were added to the total before Murphy was on his way, courtesy of Rain, the bowler's second wicket of the innings, clean bowling the batsman for 34. Glamorgan were in trouble with 2 new batsmen at the crease, and whilst Donald and Cook attempted to play positively, Aaron soon had his first wicket of the innings. Donald bowled for 15. 2 overs later, Aaron struck again to remove Lloyd for 4, and Leicestershire were in the driving seat. Cook continued to play his shots, but Leicestershire were patient, and Griffiths soon had his 3rd wicket, Salter gone for 9. That brought de Lange to the middle, who immediately made his presence known with some of his trademark lusty blows. Cook failed to push on and was caught behind off rain, out for 39. Leicestershire had victory in sight, Glamorgan still requiring 112 runs to win with just 2 wickets remaining. De Lange and Van der Gooten weren't going to go down without a fight though. Van der Gooten picked up 4 boundaries before de Lange produced more fireworks, bringing up a half-century off just 32 balls. The pressure was now on Leicestershire, but Parkinson managed to remove Van der Gooten for 22. So, as final batsman Hogan came out to the middle, Glamorgan still required 56 runs to win. De Lange was unfazed, and he continued to dispatch the Leicestershire attack. Into the 57th over, Glamorgan now needed just 4 more runs to win, but in an extraordinary climax to the game, Parkinson took a catch under extreme pressure to dismiss de Lange for 90, Leicestershire winning the match by just 3 runs. An incredible finish to a hugely entertaining game of cricket. Heartbreak for Glamorgan after an outstanding effort from de Lange and the lower order, when all hope seemed lost. Credit to Leicestershire's bowlers for holding their nerve, Rain in particular taking the crucial final wicket and finishing with figures of 4 for 44. An important first win of the season for Leicestershire, who earn 19 points as a consequence. Glamorgan take just 3 and will have to rebuild from this difficult loss when the County Championship returns in June.